Greetings and welcome to Destiny and Dice, a Dungeons and Dragons live stream set in the world of Aberrant. We've been streaming this game for close to 10 months, and it has been a blast. Most recently, though, our live stream has been a little less than live. As grown adults making their way through current events, jobs, and family life, we've begun recording our sessions in whatever available time we can find and airing them live to keep up with our chosen stream day. This has granted us some benefits. We've been able to be more present in the chat during the session's airing. It has fast-tracked much of the work of our social media guru. Thank you, Osmium Queen. But most importantly, it has allowed us to keep the stream going as opposed to taking off multiple weeks at a time, or possibly stopping our stream altogether. We have not been trying to actively deceive anybody, you, our audience. However, it was pointed out by some of our players that it might seem that way. So, for the immediate future, most of our sessions will be pre-recorded and aired here on Twitch, then uploaded to our YouTube channel the following Saturday, as we've already kind of established doing. This doesn't mean that all of our content will be that way, but most of it will for now. We are so grateful to all those who come, hang out with us, and watch the antics, drama, and exceptional role-playing of our team. Thank you so much. And with that said, I think it's time to dive into tonight's episode. When last we met, the Shadow Slayers had discovered that the Emerald Claw had made it to the front door of Whitehearth, a not-so-secret canon facility in the southern end of the Mournland. Following their discovery, the party planned and set the most devious bunch of traps along the stairway to the work bays below, some might say in a McAllister kind of way. Their hopes lie in either keeping the Emerald Claw from entering past the stairs, or weakening them enough to finish them off if they make it through the barrage of oil, tar, sharp pointy things, wire, smoke, and fire. Chaos and mayhem set, the party took the prisoners, Colin and Odiana, with them to the lower levels to rest and recover. The first watch went to Bruz and Nix, who discussed sensitive matters, so much so that Bruz found himself asking Rix for some dream millie at the change of watch to get any sleep that night. Interrupted briefly by Gimble sending Bruz a message that they had found Calysta and were pursuing her, their conversation ended on Rix telling Bruz to remind Qumo, Bruz's aberrant dragonmark, that without Bruz, it's nothing, and that it might want to think about letting Bruz get some frickin' rest. Today's session starts with as Rix moves to wake Jalira. Rix, what are you gonna do? Okay. Allow me to move the map.
So, I'm going to make my way across the hall, where I'm guessing I probably saw Jalira kind of bedding down for the night before I went to sleep. So, it'll be kind of easy for me to just kind of like, oh yeah, she's right across the way. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my way out of the room. And as I'm leaving, I'm going to turn just as one quick note to Bruz and say, careful which rabbit hole you go down. And then I leave the room, if I can. Oh, there. And I go and I knock gently on the door that Jalira is occupying. Start to I put my hand in and kind of, as I open the door, kind of knock at him, because I don't want to interrupt anything. I don't know. And be like, Jalira?
Huh?
Watch. You want to join me? If you want some extra sleep, I can probably bug Kiz or Z.
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
I hope I'm not going to be needed because things haven't fully charged yet.
Well, let's hope for the best. But yeah, come on.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
And I will start my way down this way. Kind of going at a quicker pace because I want to make sure I get to Nix to make sure that she's relieved of duty as well. So I'm going right here. But I'm going to wait for Jalira as well. Because are we keeping someone awake in the bed chambers, or are both people staying awake in the scrying room? I just want to make sure.
The interpretation I got from the group last session was that both people are staying awake in the scrying room.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So, yeah, once she's in there, I have the keys, so I will turn the green key and go to the next chamber.
I imagine every time the chamber here changes, Kiz will stir and flip over.
You guys approach. Gawara looks up from her sleeping position and then kind of rests back down.
So they're kind of keeping watch of the circle, but there's
Right.
Okay. You
What's it
guys
gonna-
access the green corridor, make it down there to the other end, access the orange corridor towards the scrying room. And with that, we'll not put the picture there. We're just going to bring everybody down because it's easier.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. And then you guys open the scrying room and
Just kind of start walking down the hallway. I make sure Jalira is with me, because of keys and whatnot. Wait for her at this door. Is this door? Did we leave the door open?
The door's open now,
Okay.
yes.
So yeah, we kind of just keep going through, and make our way into the scrying room. I look to Nix, and I'm like, yeah, we have. You okay? Ready for rest?
Yeah.
Okay. See you in a bit. Get as much rest as you can. Bruz took my room, but the room across the hall should be free. Bye. As you can see her just leaving. And I kind of look to Jalera and be like, would my passive insight, I mean, like, it's not great. It's a 14. Would I pick up on anything? Because she just kind of left in a hurry. And usually,
Yeah,
usually Nick says something like, kind of being like, okay, kind of thing like that. So I mean, like, her leaving abruptly, I think, for me right now, is kind of setting off red alarms a little bit. More
Well,
yellow alarms, probably.
she seems a little pale
Okay.
and doesn't want to talk.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm getting that vibe, and I'm like, okay, we'll look at that in the morning.
Question: How am I getting back?
You should have a green key. He probably would have
Okay,
handed. He would have.
green key.
I would have handed you the green key because that's what you need to get back. So
I have a green key.
a
but-
green, and I think it's a green and a blue, right?
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
green
so
and blue. We have multiple of. It's just the
Yeah.
getting back in with the yellow and the.
Right.
Okay,
Cool.
just checking. I was getting confused there for a sec.
Might be able to just leave the key with Kiz there where she's sleeping. No.
Yeah, she's fine. No, it's the orange key to get into the scrying room that they have to pass off.
Yeah, so I'd give
We
that
only
to
have
you.
one. I
But
don't
I
need
thought
the
you guys were
orange.
leaving that door open.
We're leaving the door open, but she needs it to get into.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Okay, so yeah, you just need the blue and the.
Blue and green.
Blue
We're
and
good.
green. We're good. Yeah, because we left the door open, right? I think.
It just means that one of you guys with the orange key is going to have to go back and get the new people.
Right. Yeah, that's what we're
Sure.
kind of trading off.
Yep, that's
Well-
what we're trading off as.
Yeah, that's how Bruce
how
handled
Bruce-
it. Bruce
yeah.
had the orange key, took it to Rick's, traded with Rick's.
And then I came down this way with the orange key to open the door and get in and then send you on your way. All right, cool. Okay. So I kind of settled in, sit down, and kind of look to Jalera and I'm like, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Better than I did.
I mean,
I,
I definitely don't want to be going down those stairs.
yeah. I mean, I kind of want to see how well it worked, but I also kind of don't want to see it. But at the same time, I felt pretty doomed there for a little bit because we had bad guys coming at us from different directions. Now we only have one direction, and hopefully they'll be pretty annoyed. I mean, not in a. No, I want to annoy them.
Oh, that's fair. That's perfectly fair. I really want to annoy them too.
Especially those undead minotaurs. That hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I just kind of chuckle and I'm like, no, I want to be confident tomorrow because I think we need to be for however long we have.
Okay.
So I think that if any manage to get through whatever you set for them, or if whatever we left behind, mostly you, but it's nice to help. Um, I doubt they'll. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on when they decide to descend down those stairs. If it's
Yeah.
immediately, or maybe first thing, or who knows? You know, they may not be able to get the sleep that we will. But can you do me a favor? Um, Nix and I had a conversation. Feels like ages ago. Um, where it was more me requesting it, I suppose. But I've sort of wrapped a lot of who I am around her. And in trying to protect her, I sort of created what feels like 5 or 6 lives sometimes. All, for the most part, built around protecting her. And I've sort of, I guess severing is a bad word, but creating a distance that's necessary, I think, for the both of us, but she needs people. Not to necessarily look out for her, but to talk to when she's ready to talk. And I know we all haven't been very close for some time, save maybe you and Z. I spent a lot of time together. I think she could use that family feeling. Someone to talk to about things that I'm not equipped to talk to her about, you know? So, you know, if you could just keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll do what I can. I mean, if she will, if she wants to come to me and talk to me, I mean, I'd be happy to talk or listen.
I mean, not necessarily wait for her to come to you, but maybe reach out to her and see if
Okay.
she's willing to take your hand, so to speak.
Okay. We don't have the best track record of being able to read each other.
No, but I don't think she'd be angry at you if you were just to reach out and be like, "Are you okay? Are you doing well?" That sort of thing. I mean, she might just give you a dismissive answer or say, "I'm fine," like in polite conversation, but I think knowing that someone's asking usually helps a lot.
Okay.
On a slightly different note, that spell that Z uses to try to reach out to pipes, do you know that one?
No,
Damn.
I mean, I was able to program it into a couple of stones, but someone in the guild already had the schematics.
All right, never mind them. Never mind. Okay.
I can look into it, but I'm not sure if.
I mean, sort of a moot point. I wanted to send a message to someone before we went into what could be certain death, or what could be a surprising victory for us. But I know Z's spell slots mean a lot to her, and I think she wants to save them more for protecting us and helping.
Yeah.
So
Well, she also wants to help Colin and Odiana. So, oh man, I hope Colin's gonna be okay.
I hope she can get that thing off of him. Not the, the spell. Sounds like a nasty piece of work.
I'm just really glad we were able to find those keys.
Glad that something was able to get triggered and then remember.
Yeah, it's been so rough on Bruz.
Yeah. I think it's been rough on all of us.
Can't even imagine.
Do you think he'll go with them when this is over? He'll just walk away.
I hope he does what he feels is best for himself, and I mean, I think to some degree we are emotionally taxing on him to some degree. I mean, he was really worried about what we would say when we got onto the ship, so much so that I completely blew it out of proportion and misinterpreted and all sorts of fun stuff. But
I don't think you should necessarily take all of that on yourself. You were sort of rushed onto the ship without real preparation. Things could have been handled better.
Yeah,
But I mean, there's no point in carrying something like that. I think.
But I think he feels more in his element when he's on the sea.
Oh, I imagine so. I mean, I think you're in your element when you're in a forge. Nix and I are in our element when we're out there, or when I'm in Sean. Or when Nix is out there doing what she does. As much as, sort of like an abusive relationship in some ways. As much as we hate it, it's hard to imagine our lives without it. It's been part of us for so long.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Like when you and Bruz were insinuating how much you hate Sharn, and somehow I managed to just zero in on that's all I heard. And I took that super personally. Because for me, Sharn's part of who I am.
No.
But you sit back, you look at it, it's a pretty crappy place.
It can
Bruz
be.
has every reason in the world to hate it.
Yeah, but I mean, there are parts of Sean I absolutely loathe. And then there are parts of Sean I wouldn't give up for the world. I mean, have you ever been to the Upper City?
I don't know. Maybe I went there on a field trip. I don't know.
Has she? TM's looking for the mute button.
First die roll of the night. Here we go. Delira, high or low?
Hey. For the heights of Sharn. How low do I get?
Oh, she got up to level 71. I don't know.
Friedrich tried to take you there on a date, but a couple of the guildmates ended up kind of inviting themselves, so it didn't quite follow through with the plan that he had.
Does she know it was a date?
I'm guessing she probably didn't.
She had no idea it was a date.
Oh, poor Friedrich. Bless that boy's heart. Bless that little dwarf's heart.
You guys actually got to take in a show at one of the House Fjarlin's illusion shows, and you ate a very nice dinner. It's quite lovely. And even then, you were only on the lower tiers of that upper echelon.
Wow. So I'll share that with Rix.
I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, oh, that sounded like he was trying to take her on a date. Like in his mind, it's like, and she's like, as she's explaining this, like, I am, my passive deception is really high, and so I'm able to I feel like I'm able to disguise my expression of like that poor boy, poor little dwarf.
I'm just focusing on the experience and describing that.
Yeah, and and as I listen and kind of chuckle at parts, and I'm like, you should see the upper city at sunrise. Just as the sun, crests over. It's like the city's just lit up. And there are good people in that city. And I saw a lot of the bad people. And there's a lot to not like about the city, but there's still... I don't think I could ever feel the same way that Bruz does. The sort of disgust he has with it.
Somehow I interpreted that as he hated everyone in it. But part of me was just personally affronted for Z's sake. But I know he didn't mean to skip her graduation and all that. I know he had a lot of things rough. And I know I can't possibly imagine it, so I need to...
No, I mean, I think we all understand why he didn't make it known that he was alive, and the reasons why he chose not to do that.
Given what...
But it doesn't stop, and it doesn't make that pain any easier. Because we still felt it in that moment. That sense of loss, of whether it be a lost loved one or lost opportunities or whatever it may be. I don't know if he fully comprehends the effect that had on all of us. I don't know if any of us are really ready to share that with him. I think we're all happy and relieved he was alive. I
think Z was in denial about it, and I think I just adopted that denial just to help her through it.
Yeah, well, she never gave up hope. The rest of us, I think, we're a little more experienced with, I guess, the realities of what happened, that we, I suppose, were a little more pessimistic about it. Realistic, maybe? But I'm glad that Z didn't give up hope and that she found him.
Yeah, me too.
I just wish that it hadn't happened. I mean, we didn't even need to... it's in the past.
Yep.
So, Friedrich.
What?
You were telling me about that, outing you had with his friends, right?
All of our friends was a couple people.
Yeah. I mean, was it the original plan for them to tag along, or was it always...
Roll me a history check.
Please roll well. Or not well. I mean, either way, this could be really... either way, it'll be entertaining. Yep.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
You distinctly have this memory of Frederick coming into the workshop, like putting down his apron. Everybody was kind of celebrating over the your guys' attempts at creating AT-12, like your guys' attempts at that, and you finished your first prototype. Everybody was happy, and you distinctly remember him asking everybody to come with him up to the upper levels of Sharn to celebrate.
It's just a really nice restaurant. Usually people go there on dates. So. But I mean,
Roll me an insight check.
What?
Jalira, roll me an insight check.
10.
It was a really nice restaurant. But I mean, they had booths for more than two people.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, it was also a group area too.
He had no choice. He came with an entourage. All right. Well, we should keep an eye out.
I was gonna ask Nix before she left if the glass goblins make any changes or anything.
Oh, she seemed like she was in a rush to go. I think if anything strange happened, she would have told us before she headed out. It would be unlike Nix to just kind of keep that information to herself.
Hmm.
So we sit there on our watch.
Yeah.
Can you each roll me a d20?
Just a straight D20?
Straight d20.
I'm doing well tonight.
Good. Oh,
Shaking up the bad rolls now.
I mean, that could be the number of people
That's
that
how
survived
probability
upstairs,
works.
So.
You know what's great? That 11 would have been really good for a perception check. It would have been, it's because I got an 11 because I wasn't rolling a perception check.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check just to see.
Just for the lulls? Okay.
Just for the lulls.
At 20.
Well, it should be a nat 20. 26. F you, game.
It's a
F
19.
you, game. It's going to be a bad fight for me.
Oh, golly.
The 26. What does Rick see?
What do my elf eyes see?
So you're peering closely down. You do find that you're kind of like, after staring at them for a while, the molten glass moving around, you find that you're actually able to kind of like discern the different creatures in it. Like you get a pretty good idea. You're fairly sure there's at least 3 in there.
Mhm.
You suspect there might be 1 or 2 more, but you're not entirely sure. But you're able to identify at least 3 different creatures moving in the glass.
I point them out to Jalira.
It's like when you see a cloaking person in Halo.
Or in Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
What's that box? What's that over there?
That done, your guys' watch passes. Time moves on, and you find yourselves at that point where it's time to go get your relief.
This was nice.
You want to go get Z, and then I'll stay here and keep watch while you do that? I give her the, well, she should have the keys. She's still there. And I give her the orange key, too.
Okay. Wait, who am I getting?
Z,
Z.
your friend.
Oh, fine. Oh,
And Kiz, probably.
The perception roll feels like a slap on the face, man.
Doo-doo-doo.
Okay.
So if it's
never mind.
alright, Mike. I was gonna say after Rick's left, probably waiting. I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Just sitting, like kind of standing there in the same spot, just kind of that head is empty, but everything's right at the edge of it. And then he would have left that room and walked over to the door where Colin and Odiana are.
Okay.
And like stared at it for a bit. And then he slowly would have like put a hand against the door. Not to push it open or anything, but just to like
Be a creeper.
Yeah, sure, be a creeper. And then he's gonna like he'd lean his head down so that his forehead is touching the door, and he would start crying. Like silently. And after a couple minutes of that, he would down the bottle and lay down on that pile of stuff right outside their door.
Roll me a perception check.
Is he sleeping?
Shh.
He knows what room they're in.
Mm-hmm.
But
Perception check. If it comes through.
Are you talking to me or him?
No, him.
I'm just trying to find the right tab. It's like, okay, finally.
I know how that game goes. I do.
It's this one. No, it's this one. No, that's the same tab I just hit. Okay, then it's got to be this one. Nope, that is again the same tab.
Why do I have 3 windows open on the same tab?
There, I finally found
Okay.
Z.
But what does Rix notice while Bruz is?
So, as you kind of hunker down into the covers, you find that you're laying down next to Z, who had been under the covers, laying on that pallet outside the room, happily buried under the covers that Jalira has now pulled her out of.
Hey.
We will move her to the top. And you lay down, you lay down, you kind of bundle up, and you feel like there's this warm body next to you. But between the dreamily starting to take effect, between the tiredness and the amount of emotional trauma that you've run through in the last 24 hours, kind of all culminates. You lay down and you smell Z. You smell familiar. You smell family, and you find yourself drifting straight into sleep. Put Z on the front of that pile. Z, you feel Jalira begin to kind of gently poke at you. You realize that you're cuddled up next to Bruz.
Cool beans. What's up?
It's your turn for watch.
Okay.
Was someone gonna watch with you?
I don't know who's been on watch so far. Generally, it's 2 and 2.
Yeah, Bruz and Nix, me and Rex. And so I guess you and Kiz. Kiz is out in the roundabout. Here's the key.
Okay.
How you feeling?
Good.
Perception check.
I feel like I have my spells back.
Yeah.
Yay!
No, it's not been a full rest yet.
Oh
I feel like I'm gonna have my spells back after this.
no.
Yay! Then I can take the gash off Colin, and good things will happen. All right.
There's a baby in that room. Shh.
Z would come in here and like poke Kiz. Hey, you ready to take a watch?
Hey, Nix, I saw you move your token just now from the bathroom to the bedroom. Is that something that happened previously, or do you cross paths with Z?
And previously, she would not have spent the whole watch in the bathroom.
Soaking in the tub, just ah.
No, she
Okay.
would go. She would have gone in there for probably spent a good amount of time in there, but not over an hour.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
And then, yeah, she'd
Z.
take the captain's quarters because she's not going back there.
Okay.
Okay. Kiz, you and Guar are gonna come with me?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Let's go.
Okay.
Rix, if
You
you
want
want to
us-
place yourself in a room, since we're still on the screen.
You're gonna crash on the roundabout.
I'm gonna crash in the roundabout because I know Kiz was there before, so I'm gonna just take the middle spot and take over for her there and sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
I will ask her if she wants to stay with Rex or come with me.
Oh, we'll come with you.
Yeah, go.
Hmm.
Do-do.
You guys exchange keys with Rix.
Mhm.
Who has what key at this point? Who has the orange key at this time?
Z probably.
Z would take it.
Okay. You guys enter into the scrying room, and your watch begins.
Doop-a-doop-boop-boop.
Can you each roll me a d20?
Maybe.
Hopefully that's not the number of guards I got at the door.
Woohoo! Did you want a perception check or just a d20? Because, I mean, we rocked that.
Just the d20s. That's fine.
It's the number of glass columns that
The
are hostile.
perception check was to hurt me.
Well, I mean, we are on watch, so the whole paying attention thing, it kind of makes sense. Kinda.
Is there any conversation that you two would like to have at this time? Or do you just kind of enjoy each other's quiet company?
I'm pretty good with the quiet company keeping, unless Kiss has something she wants to talk about.
If it seemed like Zanim was talkative, she might ask her about some of her shard hunting quests. Otherwise, she's good with the chill.
I mean, if you ask, Z will tell you about some of the craziest places that she's tracked down dragon shards. You won't believe this one time when we made it like in the middle of a circus. I don't know why they built a circus here, but the things I had to dig through to get those dragon shards. I mean,
About 20 minutes in, Kids begins to realize that the use of recreational drugs is heavily involved and sees hunting for these things.
Zanim, while you are sitting on your watch, do you take any time with your spell shard?
can I? Yeah, I'll like, after I tell a few ribald stories, I would be like, okay, I want to like, I know we're looking at the room and all, but I want to take some time and rework my spells and hang out with my spell shard. so that I am as prepared as possible for the fight that's coming whenever it happens to be coming.
Can I help? Would it help you if you talk through it or something? Or if not, I'll just keep watch. If I see something I need a second pair of eyes for, I'll ask Quara. Then I'll ask you.
Fair.
As you pull out your spell shard and begin looking at it and communing with it, Gwara kind of comes over and begins sniffing at it. This is something that she hasn't actually ever really done before. She's
Goblin inside.
kind of
Spell shard's a mimic.
eyeballing it, kind of looks at it and kind of shows her fangs a little bit at it, and then almost as if completely mollified, she calms down and walks back over and sits down next to Kisriel.
Spell shard's a mimic.
She's never
Calling it
cared about
now.
She's never cared about my spell shard before. That's interesting.
Did you smell anything interesting? See anything interesting?
Tail twitches.
Twitchy, twitch, twitch.
As she's laying there, you get the sense that she's like almost like asserted her queenship over the dragon shard. Like she's got this very regal pride look on her face. Like, you know, cats, like the Gwara has never really been prone to dominance, but having worked with other animals, she definitely get the sense that she's told that shard what for.
Imagine if Kiz is sitting and if Shigora is sitting, then Shigora probably comes to hero. Sitting Kiz.
Such a good kitty, being better than the mostly inanimate object.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Okay.
I'm waiting for that thing to become a mimic now.
No.
Just for the lulls.
I
We
feel like
can't,
if
we can't
anybody
have,
could
we
tell,
can't have a
though,
moment's
it would be
rest
me.
in here, man. Who knows what's going to happen?
With that, you take the time to kind of commune with your spell crystal. You can go ahead and reset your spells for the day. Like, go through what you've got, prepare what you need to. Anybody else who prepares their spells can go ahead and take this time now too.
Can I click the long rest button?
Yes, you may all click the long rest button.
Call it freaking
Yeah.
Lawyer. Guys, we did it.
We made it.
We did it! We did it! We did it! Yeah, we did it!
I think
Sorry.
it's legitimately been about 6 months since I've been able to click this one.
The fact you didn't sleep and all that stuff. I mean, like, seriously.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh, that's right.
fair.
Yeah, we did sleep at the forge.
Go to that tab. That's right. Go to that tab. Do what I tell you.
What do you think? Web.
Wonder if I stood on this corner of the glass box, if I could like shoot them from the door. At some point in the 2 hours, she starts strategizing.
Holy slap. This one doesn't look familiar.
Oh no, that's not yours. That's mine.
Okay.
That's
Like
that's how my homebrew for another game.
Good, because it was confusing. Alright.
Yeah, no, that's for a monk in another game.
Alright.
Seriously.
Thank you for letting me know before I
Decided to choose that. Yeah, no, that's no belonging to you.
no, not touchy.
Belongs to a monk that's basically said she wants to kill a god.
Alright.
Goals?
You might
You
get
guys
there
think
one day.
Think we might need
Well-
another arcane lock. We'd have to grind down some more gold.
Jalira, as you're waking up and kind of going through your stuff, settings, like looking at what's charged, you find 3 kind of not brightly glowing, but dimly lit crystals next to your stuff. You notice that they seem to have been shaped and formed to fit into your catalyst.
Sorry, Jared. Okay. I think she's gonna bring them to Z. Be like,
Are we all meeting up in the sky room?
Nope. We can't meet you guys there.
Because only one of us has the orange key.
And one of the
Mhm.
2 of you in there have the orange key.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it didn't reset.
With your
that.
long rest concluded, 8 hours have passed. Z, have you selected your spells?
Yes.
Jalira, have you selected your spells?
hey. Actually. I don't know. Detect magic? Do you think that'd be useful? Everything's magic. Dang it.
Caster problems.
I am imagining her just trying to bounce ideas off of people.
Who
I
else
went
is
with
in-
polymorph. I'm going to turn somebody into a puddle of water.
Is
Cool.
it just animals? Or is it objects too?
People.
Oh no,
Like-
it's just the polymorph
Do me a
spell.
favor, read through
Oh.
polymorph.
Fine, I'll turn them into a rat.
You could also turn
snail.
allies into things.
You could also turn it into something slow and small.
And it's 30,
Be
so it doesn't accidentally get too close to the fire elemental, so it suddenly loses its 1 hit point. It gets turned back into the dragon.
Oh man, I have ideas. I have ideas for what you can do with polymorph.
Polymorph looked like a really fun one for this.
No, it is a great spell. It is a great spell. There's a lot of things you can do with it.
Enemies into slugs. Well, at least one enemy into a slug because I can cast this all of once.
Mage hand or whatever somehow gets slugged into the glass vault. He'll turn back into himself, but he'll be inside a glass vault.
You can also turn creatures into people into creatures of the same CR as their level. So you could also transform like Cherry into a great ape.
Well, I also got Dragonfire, so I figured I would ask somebody if they want to like view Dragonfire. Yet again, seemed like a really good spell for this.
Or you can turn him into a slug and throw him into the bag of holding. And just keep it closed for a while.
We did that with an aboleth.
Triton wasn't too
I'm
thrilled.
just
but I'm
saying.
like, "There's an aboleth in this."
I'm just saying it could work.
Nick, and refresh your character sheet. See if that fixed the problem.
All right. I picked my because she happened to actually have some rotten food on hand. She's gonna try this new one.
I mean,
Might as well make use of that apple.
Okay, all of your spells are selected.
Change
I think
spells
so.
until I level up, so.
Is it working for you, Nix?
I'm okay with what
It looks good now.
Okay, cool. Z, you finish your meditations. Kizriel, you've watched the room. Nothing seems to have taken place. 8 hours passes. You guys get your long rest. Cherry, you've selected all of your spells. You found these 3 new crystalline components that look like they go with your gear, but you're not entirely sure what purpose they serve. You definitely don't remember making them.
I like Jared's idea.
Who in our group?
Can I share what Jared said with the world?
Who in our group probably has the most religious experience?
Rick.
You?
Me.
It
Bruce.
was you.
I think that
You,
really depends
Bruce,
on how you
or
define that.
Religious experience, yeah.
Well, Nix also, she studied with some stuff.
Okay, who studied the most?
Z.
Look, there,
Rick.
yes, it's Jared.
Rick.
Probably. I don't know. I feel like Nix might be familiar with it. 'cause
Having
she-
just grabbed a book and done research on it.
True. But it was like you said, it was light research, and it wasn't anything deep. That's really sad. I read it like
Well-
Gods of Eberron's for kids, and I'm the one that knows the most about a religion now, apparently.
It wasn't a priority for Daddy
Depends
Mike.
on the
craziness.
deity.
The sovereign host is your friend.
They're found
Those are
everywhere
fine
and in everything. Move on.
I was like telling the rated G version of Lot.
Oh,
Okay.
moving on from that.
Julia,
Actually, no, I probably would talk to Z about it. Pick her brain. She's smart.
She got the brains.
yes,
You
you
have-
you find yourself wandering towards the right angles to go to, and then you realize you don't have a key.
Well, Kiz would then see would be like, oh, let's meet everybody in the rotunda roundabout
Cool. Let's go.
round.
Turntable. Go. Sorry.
You guys, right as Cherry, you find yourself approaching the thing, thinking, "Man, I don't have a key." All of a sudden, the junctions turn, and out step Z and Kiz.
Hi.
I feel like
Everybody took
I'm just sitting there, like just looking at like look
5, 6.
inventory, going through all of the weapons that I have on me. I have
Yes, I'll come with you.
reattuned to my crossbow, even though the fire arrows are bullcrap for me.
Okay.
Mike, when she changes into a new human form, what happens?
Hold, please.
Well, that's why I'm to be so confused. They got to know the old lady.
Let's see. What human form do you take? Just out of curiosity.
I sent it to you earlier today.
Okay, gotcha.
Swear to God, if it's Calysta.
Elf.
Just saying.
You find that upon your chest is the mark of the sentinel.
Be useful for combat.
Do I
However,
sense it?
in that form, you don't sense any added bonuses or powers with it. You don't get the sudden urge to go out and fight something or to protect something.
She's gonna go ahead. Well, she doesn't know what form will be for what.
Mm-hmm. So you can just kind of roll some forms and we see what we get.
Yeah. She's gonna pick the spy form.
Spy form. Okay. Spy
A half elf.
Half elf. You find that you are bearing the mark of detection.
Okay.
Again, no added bonuses or benefits.
She's gonna go ahead and change to be Zinnia, the elf.
Okay. Zinnia. Okay. As you change to Zinnia's form, you feel some changes go by, and if you go through your manage feats section, you can go ahead and select the characteristics under that
Okay.
for the mark of death.
Okay. Manage feats. Manage feats. Manage feats. Where am I?
When you're on your
Down
character
at the bottom,
sheet, go to
it's
features
the
and traits.
features and traits all the way at the bottom.
Okay. And I can change it from the mark of making to. How do I do that?
It should be a selection, or I may need to go do it. Hold on.
It should list a bunch of feats, and you
It
should be able to
should give you
remove
it
one
should
and
give you a
add
selection
another.
at the bottom of the feet.
I've moved it to the bottom of the feet. I still see mark of making, and when I select on mark of making, I can't change it. I selected
Okay.
on the mark of death, and it doesn't do anything.
Okay, go ahead and close your character sheet. I'll go in and see if
Okay.
I can make it happen. I'll make it work. This will actually remind me what all it does too. Exciting. Proof dragonmark. Making mark of death. There we go. Okay. I'm going to refresh your sheet and then close it. You can get back into it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, head there now. I'm out. That looks like it transferred everything.
Is as a stranger to pick a flea off of the bar and put it in her hair. It's a material component, but Kiz has bathed recently.
That smell. Oh, it's me. I'm clean. Sorry. Just kind of imagine
Like-
that.
Like they dip Kiz in the bath and like half of the spots that she has on her just kind of smudge off and smear off.
He
Ah,
said
I didn't know.
They said they were tattoos. Liar.
It's really just Gwara who's been like putting her paw print in mud and putting it on Kiz's face while she sleeps.
Oh, cute headcanon.
As you take that form, you feel something shift on your chest. And as you kind of flip back to changeling, you see that another one of the symbols in one of the side things, actually no, it's not the side, it's the center. The symbol in the center of your new aberrant dragon mark has filled out. So currently the bottom, the lowermost symbol and the center symbol should be the ones that are filled out right now. I think I sent you the whole thing, so they're all there, but
Okay.
I'm just telling you which one relates to which, so.
Nice. All right.
She can be like a tall dwarf, right?
Yeah, they're medium sized. She can be a dwarf.
How much height difference can you do?
I don't know.
A lot?
I don't think
How
she.
stretchy are your bones?
So yeah, after she does that, decides to change Zinnia's hair color. Sees if that
Okay.
makes a difference.
Okay. You find that changing Zinnia's hair color does not seem to make a difference.
I'm gonna test a lot of this out. At some point.
Sure, if you do it there with us here, it'll be easier to know what to
I don't.
expect.
She doesn't say that out loud.
As you change different features and forms, you find that if you change something that is fundamentally Xenia, like facial structure, muscular structure, that causes the change to take it away. But artificial characteristics, hair, eye color, that all seems to hold true. Like details hold true, but like foundational characteristics of being Xenia cause it to shift out.
Makes me wonder if age is one of those that is fundamental or not. Figure that out later.
High or low?
Go with low.
Change in age doesn't seem to affect it. However, changing the age of an elf,
Doesn't.
like fundamentally that lifespan is a little more like at what point
ambiguous.
do you become like at what point does it become old? Like I feel like if you're going to sit there and like go year by year to see what happens, it's going to take a while for you to do that.
It's Zinnia that she's worried about. But we're good. She's gonna come back out, join everyone.
Do you keep the hair color change or not?
She has dark hair now. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with a black colored hair.
We can tell it's you, right?
Yep,
think
we've
some
seen
point-
Zinnia before.
Remember when Bruz punched her?
It was a kick.
When we were in the
Yeah.
cart?
She was that elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Bruce's first introduction to that.
Remember how he hit my sister?
Yeah.
Remember how many times your sister hit him?
Remember anytime he deserved it? Because he was freaking out.
Do we want to go get Bruz and
And she was
Colin
going
and Rodiana?
crazy.
Colin might need to get back to the ship soon.
Yeah, let's see how they're doing.
I mean,
Bruz isn't with us at this point, so I imagine that we should go back anyway at this point.
Bruce is kind of like snuggled up and is laying in front of the door so as to not let anybody into that room or out of that room. Bruce, your night passes and you have no dreams.
He would wake up probably with like a start, like look around, touch his like face, touch to make sure he still has an aberrant mark. Kind of look around and then like get up and then like look at that door very warily. And after like a minute or two of building up his courage, he would knock.
You knock hard, soft,
Probably soft.
soft. You take a minute, you listen carefully. You hear a loud reverberating snore, knowing that Odiana's indeed in there asleep.
Jeez,
Having
Thomas.
heard that
Like,
snore a
lets
number
out
of
a big
times.
sigh of relief, and like the tension in his shoulders drops a decent amount.
Okay. However, they don't seem to wake up with you knocking. They're still very much asleep. Until you hear the sound of a little baby start to squeak. And you hear, Colin, feed the baby. Love, I can't. That's kind of you. Fine. Give me the baby. And Colin kind of comes stumbling out of the room, rubbing his face.
Bruce would probably have to, like, because I think hearing that, Bruce would have, like, gently placed his hand on the door and tears would have started, like, building up in his eyes. So he probably wouldn't, like, have to jump back. It's Colin, open the door.
Like you hear the door handle start to jiggle. And
Yeah,
kind of jump
see,
back.
like-
Colin opens it. Okay. How do I get back to the boat? She's rubbing his face.
Odiana has some projects down here for you to work on. She has some stuff that needs to get fixed on the boat here before it can
Wonderful.
be taken back up.
That sounds like a great plan. Use bathrooms. He goes out and around. Ooh, I moved the bed. Don't grab the bed, Mike.
Good night. Don't grab the bag.
Yeah, Mike, there's only like 6 tokens on top of each other. Why can't you grab the one you...
Jeez.
As he kind of walks through the door. He opens it wide enough that you see the back of Odiana's head. She's facing the wall away from the light outside the room. And she's kind of curled up, one arm kind of at her side, the other, you can't really see with the other arm or the front half of her, but you see Odiana lying in the bed.
If the door doesn't fully close behind Colin, Bruce would close it to make sure she got. And then I guess he'd look around and try to figure out where everyone else was.
Okay, you find Kiz in the hallway just around the corner. Kizriel, can you make me a perception check? What's your passive stealth, Jared?
Mine?
Yeah, for Bruce's passive stealth.
Don't. 10.
10. Yeah, you definitely know that Bruce was crying. And that he stopped crying when Colin had come out. You kind of watched as Colin came by. And then Bruce kind of takes a moment and then comes around the corner.
Yeah, she came up to kind of see what was going on, and then she kind of backed off and just was like, let's give him some space. So when he turns around, she'll just be like,
Bruce probably wiping a little bit from his eyes. He's like, hey, this it's morning is a stupid word. We good? Everyone good? I think I feel well rested.
you look good.
Like-
Where is Odiana and Colin gonna stay while we deal with our friends?
well, I mean, sorry. I figured. Well, I'm guessing. Who was on last watch?
Me and Z.
Okay, so nothing so far. taking their sweet time. All right.
They never came to that corner, which
I figured, well, I guess we should all get together and talk and figure out what we're going to do then, since we don't know 100%. And then, once we figure out what we're doing, talk to Colin and Odiana and make sure they know what we're doing. And I imagine they probably want to stay in this area. Maybe make sure they have a key to get to the kitchen or something.
You only have one brown key, right?
Or take them to the kitchen. I don't know. Can't remember what all we have. Anyway, yeah, so where's everybody else? They at the scrying room?
no, the circle.
Oh,
We could check
okay.
the scrying room real quick, I suppose.
Yeah, let's if we're gonna talk, let's do it in there. That way we can keep an eye out.
Okay.
It would be our luck that the minute or two we're not looking at it is exactly when they'd show up. So Bruz would head down the hallway with her and
So but we're gonna go ahead and have Colin and Odiana stay here.
oh, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So Colin and Odiana are staying here.
Well, I think Odiana's feeding the baby right now, and Colin's might be a minute. I
Okay.
figured we could talk. We could figure out what we're gonna do, and then we'll come back and let them know and let them decide where they want to be while we're doing it.
Okay. See you at the circle then, or you want to come now?
I was planning on heading now.
Because if we're gonna try to beat the Emerald Claw to a good rest, we want to go hit the rear.
So yeah, if they walk out, Bruz is just gonna be like, yeah, why don't we head to the scrying room to make sure we're not missing anything? Everybody all right? Everyone sleep well? Feel rested? Feel...
Yep, all good.
Yeah.
When I met up with Zia, I wanted to just show her the gems I found.
She's gonna go ahead and use the green key.
Okay.
What's that?
The green key. You go down the hallway while Jalira is talking to Z. Jalira, what do you say?
Hey, I found these next to my stuff. That they look like they'd be a perfect fit for my catalysts.
Cool. Where'd they come from?
I don't know.
That's both interesting and concerning all at the same time.
Yes. I don't know. Could this be a divine thing?
I mean, that god did apparently seem to like you.
I really
What
liked
with
him.
all of the crafting you did. I don't know. At this point, I say we take all the advantages we can get. Have you tried anything in like Fixer or what's AT20's name again now?
Boomer.
Okay.
Not
Or Boomer to see what happens, just to be safe. I would rather you try it now before we're in a combat conditions to make sure that everything's cool. But that's just my guess.
Did you hand the crystals to Z, or did you just show them to her?
I held them out. If she wanted to pick one up and look at them, she was welcome to.
Okay. Pretty crystals. Z would have and picked them up and touched them.
Okay. Roll me an Arcana check, Z.
I was saying, please don't do damage to her. We haven't even gotten to a fight yet.
Power word kill. Wait, what? As you hold the crystal in your hand, you sense it's arcane in nature. There seems to be some store of magic in it. It feels familiar to you, but not not quite what you're familiar with. But it's
Does it feel
it's
like
as if it's as if they
happened
possess
earlier with Bruce?
what?
Does it feel like anything that may have happened magically earlier with Bruce?
No.
You're gonna have to narrow that down quite a bit.
I was just thinking of the whole.
Any of it.
True, I should not have
Too
picked up
short.
strange crystals.
Could be worse. It could be strange women offering swords.
Women lying in ponds, stripping swords.
Yeah, that's
2024.
Okay, so
I'm just saying, Rix was offered a sword and he took it,
and bad things
So-
happen.
There's a not
Look at these
all
two.
bad.
Yes,
no,
because you're so happy about being stuck in changeling form right now.
Actually, he's
I
pretty
mean-
okay with it, to be honest.
He wasn't at first.
No,
Bit of a change.
it's building character. That's all. Go do something you don't like. It builds character.
It's a changeling equivalent of walking around on the beach with your shirt off.
Round like it in your living room.
fair. That being said, Z, as you're holding the crystals, again, you sense that there's some dormant energy stored in these crystals.
Okay.
But other than and it feels familiar, but nothing you can quite put your finger on at this time.
Good familiar or bad familiar?
Good familiar.
I feel like
Actually
half-charged
probably
batteries.
more neutral familiar.
Neutral familiar?
Just you get the sense of stored energy.
I'd tell her that they feel like energy to me, and I don't know, my impression appears to be fairly safe. Don't do anything dumb,
I'll
like picking up strange crystals. I mean, I joke, a kid.
You guys get down to the far end of the corridor. Z, you have the orange key currently.
Mm-hmm. I let us through.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Okay.
Oh, there's
Okay.
where I left my lantern.
Actually, you left it in the center console of the main blue room.
Oh, so Kiz was probably all night going like,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So was Rix.
It doesn't. Rix is just used to everything being visible now.
Brix is like it doesn't get dark anymore.
No,
It never
he
gets dark.
closes his eyes and he just watches the blood flow.
creepy.
I don't know. I'm soothing at night.
Yeah,
It's like
instead of
counting
counting sheep, he's counting pulses of his blood vessels.
I don't know.
Or the time,
Ah.
if he had microscopic sight, he could count the many times the capillaries open and shut.
Okay. Does everybody gradually move down to the scrying room?
Sir.
What form is Nix in right now?
How,
She's in the form of an elf. Are you wearing anything that shows your mark right now?
Yeah, she would have taken one of the captain's uniforms, and basically, she might actually have kind of adjusted it so that it would show what mark is there, while
Okay.
she still had the making going.
It's part of what she did before she fell asleep. She altered a tunic so she could make it pretty. Okay.
Because, she's that way.
Mhm.
Actually, no, I don't think she actually would have done that. She's just in one of the guards' uniforms.
Okay, so she's in the form of an elf. You can't see her mark at this time.
Okay.
The elf looks familiar, but the hair is off. Oh, okay. As you gather into the scrying room with everybody else, please move your token.
I thought
We're gonna go
token
ahead and
was in
take
the
our break.
scrying room.
And welcome back. Our party, the Shadow Slayers, has just finally managed to achieve a long rest in I don't know how long. Somebody threw a number of 6 months out. That said, they are now congregating in the scrying room, trying to figure out what they're going to do next. What are you guys talking about in the scrying room?
So,
So they
do we
haven't been
go
in?
and say hello to the Emerald Claw? Do we start
Well-
calling in the ODM?
Yeah, how is
No.
Colin doing? The cash. We did check on them, right?
Yeah.
I kind of, I'm just kind of passively, I'm keeping my eye on the ground, kind of passively, but listening to what others are saying at this point. And I kind of say, I'm like, well, sounds like nobody saw anything all night, so they either bundled up upstairs or were in luck, and they're all dead.
Should we go check? I'm hoping for the all dead
Kind
thing.
of. As you are casually kind of looking down at the floor, you do see the glass golems kind of emerge up out of the glass as what look like the remains of 3 skeletons are kind of crawling on the floor towards the glass vat.
So I think we woke up just in time, and I point to the ground. I mean,
Looks like.
it's kind of pathetic, but it feels kind of good to watch it, doesn't it?
It's like one of the glass golems just belches forth on one of the skeletons, and it just almost melts in the glass that's being poured over it, and it stops moving. Within quick order, the other 2 skeletons that are there seem to also suffer the same fate. However, you watch as more skeletons continue to move towards the glass vat.
Should we help out? So, go.
Is Nix walking out of the room?
Yeah, she is.
Push right past Bruz.
Let Bruce finish his sentence before you run off.
He would have tried to catch her arm if he could have.
You're-
She'd have glared.
Let's let them.
He's actually like not 100% looking at her. His eyes are down, but he just quietly to her is like, "Was I gone for 6 years?"
She would say, and she'd shove him off and walk away.
What
I'm
did she
sorry.
say?
I didn't hear what you said. Like, you
Okay,
cut out.
she's like, "Don't touch me," and walks away, shoving him off.
We have the orange key, right?
Z
Yeah.
does.
See, it is.
Nobody can get anywhere without Z's approval.
Well, oh yeah, we can't get past those doors. We probably shut them behind us.
Now the real question is
Um,
who has the red and yellow keys?
Nix?
Still has those.
No?
Does Nix have
Bruce?
those still? I don't think I don't have them, I think.
Everyone, check your inventory.
I kind of raise an eyebrow. Because I imagine I can catch that in my peripheral, that kind of exchange. And I am kind of look at Bruz like, what is going on? And I move past him to go after her. And follow
If
after.
nobody has it specifically delineated in their character sheet, that means that Bruz has it because he is the one who walked back and forth to carry a body.
That's true.
So if nobody else has it, it defaults to Bruz's inventory at the time.
It says it's in my inventory right now.
Okay.
But I imagined that Bruz probably had it. I have not updated that in a while. But if we want to keep it in my inventory, we can.
As long as you don't, like, leave us behind.
Is that in or out of character?
Well, like, he's already walking off, so it's already like, wait.
Nix.
Not again.
Nix.
We're having a rough time.
You're
hearing
muted,
you,
hon.
Ben.
What do you want? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
What's going on?
I'm working very hard not to rip his head off.
I kind of glance down the hallway and I look back at her and be like, what happened?
Do you give that little smirky smile?
Yeah.
I am
Rix,
like,
can you roll me an
red
insight check?
red flags, man. I feel like it's my sister. I should know this is so weird. Watch me roll really poor. 9.
Oh yeah. Something happened. Something went down last night. You're not sure if he made a pass at her or something went really weird. Because last night, before they went in that room,
They were both pretty solemn, but when I
they
left,
were both pretty solemn. And that, like, when they came to you, like, Bruz was like, "I need some dream lily right now so I can sleep." Nix didn't even talk to you as she walked out.
Nix, what happened? I mean, if it was a release of tension or whatever, I mean, it's fine. But like,
We can't hear you.
She kind of rolls her eyes. She's like, "Oh, please."
I feel like I do not need to roll an insight check for that response. I could like eyebrows up. Did you two fight?
No, he chewed her out.
Who chewed who out?
Bruz chewed Nix out. she'd say very calmly. And Nix is broken. So I'm in control right now.
Who are you then?
Echo.
Rick, with that name, a whole slew of memories comes into your head.
Okay.
About the time when Bruz died, was considered dead, and
Oh, F.
again, you remember a time when Nix was broken.
Yeah.
And Nix decided to make some choices at that point.
Yeah, choices that I had to fix up.
You may have been involved in some covering up for her, yes.
Yeah. I was part of not all of everything she did, but yeah, I remember that period of time. Unfortunately.
Not here to make problems. We have a mission to do.
Yes,
Let's
and if
do
we
this
have
effing mission.
it's a mission that we need to work together on and agree on what we're going to do. Right now, you've walked off by yourself.
Because I cannot talk to the group.
The group or Bruce?
To you, Rex, on if you want me in there and to cause problems, or I'll just walk away and you guys decide what you want to do, and I'll just go along with it.
You know.
All right?
Right. How badly did he break her? Don't chuckle, just tell me. I'm so sick of games from people.
She's like, oh, you are sick of games. Hilarious. All right. Let's just say she's not coming out for a while.
Fine.
She's pretty broken. And I want to beat the shit out of him. But I'm not. And you should consider yourself happy about that.
I kind of give her a look over, and I look into her, like, in her eyes, and I go, right. Understand that the plan is, until you get the other details of it, are as follows. I get the final blow on the vampire. We destroy them, as many as we can. And if some want to run away, not to get help, but clearly just to run away, we don't let them. That does not mean kill. That does not mean kill. Because we could get some answers.
All right. I'll be good.
Right.
I'll let you decide if you want to tell them who I am. Or just let them keep calling me Nix.
I think you should stop acting like Nix if you don't want them to ask. And I turn and I walk away.
After a brief conversation, Rix returns to the scrying room. Did anything happen during that conversation in the scrying room?
So if kids had asked Bruce, he would have said, kind of watching this go. He's watching this. Well, I imagine we're gonna head up there in a little bit. So, I figured we just tell them that's what we're doing and see if they just want to bunker down or if they want to go to the kitchen or what they would like to do.
Kitchen with food is always good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured we'd
Choice.
give them a few options at least.
And they get out of the kitchen.
I
We
can
only have
leave
one
a
brown
couple.
key, right?
I think to get out of no, because if we on these turnstiles, I will let them know that if they're in the kitchen, they may not be able to get out for a bit.
Well, we can definitely leave them at least blue, and then maybe it's fair green.
I mean, I can leave them my keys. We got enough extra. I got a blue and a green and a yellow.
If we don't survive, how are they gonna?
Yeah, that's why it might be best to give them the keys, so in case we all die, they're not trapped.
Why do you think we're gonna die?
It's just worst case scenario.
Because the first 3 waves of skeletons have kind of pretty easily fallen to the glass golems beneath you. You start to see skeletons that have a little more life in them. Like the ones that had previously crawled over looked torn to crap, torn to shreds. Some of them looked a little charred. Some of them were definitely missing parts of their body as they crawled to the attack. However, the next wave that seems to come, like the 4th wave of 3 skeletons that seems to come in, comes in looking a little more spry, a little fresher. And it's kind of at that point that Rix kind of comes. I don't know, what's the demeanor of your approach into the room?
Well, I'm a good liar.
That's not what the dice say.
What?
My passive deception is 16. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna be actively looking necessarily to lie to them. I'm going to just kind of like game phase. We have work to do. As I walk in, I kind of glance down and kind of watch what's unfolding, and I say, "She didn't sleep well," and I think she's tired of us taking too long to say things, and we should decide what we do, and she'll go along with whatever it is.
Does anybody have a passive insight over Rix's passive deception?
What's
You said
his
it was a
passive?
16?
You know what? Let me check real quick to see.
Mine is 15, so not quite.
Ooh.
It's close.
His might be the only.
Kiss might be
No.
Really?
I was actually checking Laura, but no, she only has a proficiency perception, but not insight.
Why don't I use
Guidance on
my
yourself,
passive
Lucky.
investigation more? That's a freaking 17. Anyway. Not that this is investigation. It's not.
Because investigation in and of itself involves dedicating time to looking around and searching through things.
So it's
Passive
not a
perception.
17's awesome!
Passive perception can be viewed as like, oh, I caught it out of the corner of my eye.
I have 17 in that.
And how often does Rix actually get to count that 17, Z?
However often you actually let me.
True story. True story. So, nobody... Hey, Nix, what's your passive insight?
15.
One more time.
15.
Okay. Rix, you seem pretty solid and intact in your statement.
I'm too good at lying. Okay. And so I'm like, she's just tired of waiting. So what are we doing?
Is she up for fighting?
Yeah. She just needs to be told where to punch things.
I
guess what to punch is a better way of phrasing it.
Should we?
Not us and not Cullen and Odiana. Everybody else fair game.
I think that's the default setting right now.
Do we wait this out or should we head up?
Let's wait this out.
One of the glass golems ends up climbing out of the tank.
Don't do it.
and you see what you assume is the impact of a shatter spell shatter it.
Stay in there, buddies.
That's got to be some sort of area effect. Like,
Not good.
Well, I mean, on a high note, if we're lucky, they may not have as much magic by the time we get there.
true.
We just have to hope they aren't too powerful.
Z, do you want to keep Liz here and keep an eye out? We can guide or carry you or whatever.
I can only see within 100 feet from her eyes.
No, I think you can only give her commands.
I think there's a limit to how far I can see from her
I
eyes.
think
Hold
it
on.
might be 300 when she's out of range. I know there's a difference between like giving commands and
Okay. While my familiar is within 100 feet, I can communicate with her telepathically. Additionally, as an action, so it doesn't reference the 100 feet. I can see through my familiar's eyes and hear, but it hears until the start of my next turn. Gaining the benefits of special senses that the familiar has. During this time, you are deaf and blind with regard to your own senses.
Yeah. So the stuff you've done before where you've sent Liz off to spy on things and you've kept an eye while doing it, like back in Rose Quarry.
Sure, if you guys think it's a good idea, I can do that. I can leave Liz here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You didn't do your like snapping thing to get her to you if you need.
What?
snap her out of
You could-
existence. You know, you did a pocket
Yeah.
thing. Talked about pockets. Apparently, you really like pockets.
Pocket dimensions.
Well, yeah, but pocket dimensions, I'm sure, is just as useful as a dress with pockets.
I
They make
mean,
nothing
a
without
dress-
pockets.
And
But
to your
10 times
point,
more rare.
Kiz, I think that's a good question. Is there any idea of us starting a conversation? Are we just going to go and start breaking things the moment we get in? Should we?
I mean, we could do what Nix does and just walk off before we actually talk about it.
I shoot Kiz a look that's like, not now.
I straight up thought you were going to say like with a bolt or an Eldritch Blast.
No. I just look at her and I'm just like, but it's not like a lecturing look. It's more like a, dude, you don't know what's going on, not now.
Oh, the book I would try to give my brother when the okay. It's like
I don't know how good
Somebody
Kiz
came
is
at you
reading
and
at
I'm just
that, but it's not
That's
a
that
look
passive
that
insight.
it's not it's not a harsh look so much as it is like a
Yeah, it's more of the like eyes wide.
like there's
Girl,
it's the first indication that there is something up. And he's just like,
Okay.
if
If we get to the door and we have Z try to look through Liz, can we see if things look like they've died down?
Yeah, that's what I figured. That way we'd have an idea of what we're going to be walking into. And so I guess the question is, assuming, that the golems don't make it out of this fight, are we going to try a conversation with the Emerald Claw? Are we going to try to do anything? Are we just talking to them? Or are we going to try to stealth in there and just attack them when they may not expect it?
I mean, Rix has to kill fake vampire guys, so I was thinking that one.
I
What do
mean,
you
yeah.
think, Rex?
well, he
I'm
at the
just saying,
very
what-
least
what-
is not going to get out. But I think we're trying to figure out, to that point, are we going to try to maybe negotiate something? Not negotiate. It's a bad phrasing. Try to at least talk with them briefly before it turns into straight combat. I mean,
Don't think
we
we-
could just tell them, leave him and leave with your lives, if we can put out that much of a show.
I mean,
Yeah,
possible. We could be like, your boss is a fake vampire.
we could lead with that, yeah.
Or do we just kill him? I mean, I'm just
Well,
making sure
no,
we are all on the same page.
I would be happy if the rest of them just left, and he stays, and then makes it easier for the rest of us. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd like to at least try out that option if possible.
All right, if you want to try diplomacy.
If any of them get away, would they come back with reinforcements?
Here's the thing. I've been kind of mulling it over. They leave to go get reinforcements. That might buy us some time, right? Maybe a day.
Another golem emerges from the glass and is overwhelmed.
Oh, buddy!
Maybe a day or two. And in that event, we fix the thing and we fly away.
What the?
Or we could just teleport to
Lighthearth.
We fly away with the whole damn thing.
Do we know how to do that?
Let's put that as like a solid plan C.
We can call it a plan F. It's fine. I'm just saying. I like the sound of it.
It
but
sounds really cool.
There's physically possible, and then there's cool.
I think maybe we'll address.
Look, I point down. I'm like, we got to do something. We got to leave now.
I don't have any particular beef with them. I also don't care if they live or die. So if we just want to snuff them out, we can do it. If any of them manage to escape, I imagine running through the Mournland by themselves is probably not going to end well. So, they may not be a big issue. So I guess the big thing is, are we trying diplomacy, or are we just going to go kill some stuff?
Kill?
Who's just mildly surprised by Sherry's vote.
Kill.
I mean, there seems to be a moment where Rick can get a word in. I'm game, but other than that, let's go.
If we're going to be realistic about it, with my plan Z, plan A is we kill them until they beg for their lives.
Okay. So yeah, I'd say when we get to the door, do whatever you need to get ready. I think some of you people cast spells before we go in or whatever. And then we'll just go in and murder. Sound good?
Murder hobos.
Just another day. Let's go. Remember, try to let me get the last hit on him, and if I don't, he's dead. He's dead. There should be some element of gratitude in there. All right, let's go.
I still have a couple berries. I can just put them in.
Just throw one at him.
Oh,
Ooh.
I am so sorry.
I'm just thinking
that was the cat.
I'm just thinking of a ranged attack, but just hucking a berry into his mouth.
I assume that's what Kiz does when she gets too impatient to keep sitting around talking.
Like flipping a card through someone's door.
She's just like,
Speaking of which, Bruce, she asked if she could have a couple back. Did you ever give her a couple?
Yeah. How many do we have left? I think I put 5 in there, and one.
You have 4 currently.
Okay. Bruce would pull out all 4 and in his hand.
Oh, that's right. We left.
I'll just take 2.
We left them a surprise with the dead body.
Yeah. I apologize for the joke.
All right, let's go.
All right.
On my heel.
Z, do you want to be led? Do you want to be carried?
Well, she doesn't have to go blind until she's ready, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that way she can keep us updated while we're walking.
Okay, well, do you want to just
Please, just guide my hand. I don't know what kind of noise would a dragon make.
No, I think your first one was spot on.
A pterodactyl?
Yeah.
I think you were 100%.
I'm gonna just take Z's hand, just stick it on my head.
I mean, they have found evidence that dinosaurs have had syrinxes, so dinosaurs had the ability to make bird sounds, but the pterosaurs are less closely related to dinosaurs.
Rix, when you come in, she's standing on the ceiling.
I kind of looked at her like, we kill the mole, fake vampire, I get final blow.
Sounds good.
And
You guys talk way too long.
anyway, it's easier when you're working alone, you know that.
Yep.
This is the girl who talks
And just
really
as
slowly.
a note, when you're throwing your punches, try not to hit Bruz in the process.
I will stay away from him. It would still break her heart if I didn't.
Right. All right.
What's left to break?
Yeah. I'm guessing while they're shuffling there, they will join us eventually. She's standing on the ceiling.
Down?
I think Bruce would look at her and try to get like a read on her.
Yeah, she's glaring at him if she catches him looking at her.
There's hostility in those eyes. She's just anxious. She wants to go kill some things.
I feel like he probably gets the vibe that she's upset, but probably that's about all he's getting at this point.
I mean, Rix did say that she was getting impatient with how long we were taking, and it wouldn't be the first time that Nix has voiced a frustration at how long it takes for us to do anything.
I would bet Bruce is cognizant that she's probably upset with him. He is probably not aware to the extent to which she is mad at him.
Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting battle.
Okay. That said, you guys enter the roundabout, select your key options, heading towards...
We'd stop by Colin and Odiana and just let them know that we're going to be going to do some stuff.
As you guys go to do that, you find them standing on the other side of the wall. Like, you activate the key and there they are.
Okay.
What's going on?
That business we mentioned, we're going to go deal with it. So, do you guys want to stay here in the bed area, or do you want to maybe go to the kitchen?
Odiana looks at Jalira. She mentioned a forge area. I would very, very much like to take a minute to look there.
Do not take anything out of the library.
What do you mean? There's a library?
There's a very angry librarian, and books explode when they leave the room.
Well, that's efficient.
You can ask him questions and he'll answer.
Really? That feels terribly inefficient.
He just wants the knowledge to stay in the room. You can leave with the knowledge as long as it's in brain only.
Well, if somebody's trying to steal it, I mean, it's an efficient way to keep it from being stolen.
We can see what Colin can fix with the forge, with the pieces of the ship. Let's take him there.
I guess
Take him to the
Colin is
forge.
kind of like
Go.
Colin looks like he's kind of gotten a little bit of twitchy, a little bit of looking around. Like, if we're gonna do it, we should get that started. Could we grab some food and then move to this area?
I know for a fact, looking at Colin, that there are books about making elemental wheels that would probably be really good for you to look at to help work on the boat.
Odiana's just like, really?
Yeah, they're a bitch to find, though.
Brian.
We're on a time crunch. I would love to sit and talk about librarians and
we
everything,
can
but
drop off some food with you. Jalira has some food in her bag of holding. Maybe you could try making baked potatoes in the forge.
Sounds perfect. If you could just give us some food, we'll take care of ourselves. Which way is it?
I feel like we can fast travel this, Mike.
We would take them. They need to grab some food real quick and then drop them off in the forge area.
What do they need to leave the forge area? We'll get them the keys they need, I guess.
They will need a blue key, a green key, and a yellow key.
Bruce will hand them his sets of those.
Okay.
Might not give them all of that, but at least a mix of that.
My headcanon is with that kids cooked all the meat. So
Okay.
unless we took some of the cooked meat.
So they'll take some cooked meat. They'll take some of the fruit and a couple of potatoes.
I think we already ate the pie.
Yeah, I think the pie got served up that last night, and pie was enjoyed by all.
Okay.
As
Okay,
was
cool.
milk.
They go off to the forge. You guys go off to the upper room. Z, as you are watching and report, like you're kind of keeping it's kind of a steady count. There appear to be 2 down golems. 3 golems are out of the tank. And now soldiers have entered the room.
Okay.
There does not seem to be any more skeletons that have come in. However, the soldiers are actually holding their own. And there seems to be some kind of support magic going on.
Okay. Z would report as things happen because you can't see or hear them. So she's
I just love
like,
the idea that we're just
Drink, Gollum! You know?
we're just like
No, be nice to the Gollum.
Super loud.
we're
in
having
his ear.
conversations and leading people around, and she's yelling like she's watching a sporting event on TV.
Yes.
I'm getting some Nana vibe.
Okay. That being said,
Really? That's where you went with that? Okay.
Rip.
I thought that there was more like a sweet thing, but okay. If you want to take it negatively.
Okay, so yeah, this is the order that we started with, huh?
that's why I asked you what order you guys would be in if you came back.
Man, things just got really awkward.
Like
It's okay,
before they
though.
go in, Bruz will be like, okay, do we need anything? Z, how are they looking?
Anything to fix?
In that like how 10-minute walk, or how long is it? That's a battle.
Z can't hear you, but she's continuing to like report.
We should have left Fixer with never mind.
Do you want healing?
I think we're all fine for healing so far.
What do you
We
mean?
spare the dying. Spare the dying as a touch to fix her.
I don't think she can do the snap thing. Can you?
Haven't tried. No, I don't think so because
So we kind of need keeping with.
So
Okay.
sort of, I guess, prepared in some sense. Before we open this door, I would like to have possibly an Eldritch Blast ready that I could duck down and shoot past him, Bruz, should I see anyone.
Okay.
Kind of like just squat, like, boom, just in case.
As
I
far
guess-
as the order goes, Z's hand is supposed to be on Jalira's head.
Okay, I will take up the rear. Okay.
That was just the thing that was said, so I'm just, you
Yeah.
know.
Or
That's
kids could be up here. Because we would be positioning for opening the door, so kids wanted to squeeze her way to the front, she could.
Gosh, I'm so scared there's going to be a cone of cold on the other side, and this is just sweet vengeance for that time I almost killed you guys.
rest in peace, Gibbon.
But
So like,
No.
No,
Sweet
that was Endrix.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Gibbon was-
fight is
Gibbon
when
was-
Mike's character came and saved us.
Gibbon was,
Z.
Gibbon was the Wraith.
A third, and the time it takes you guys to get upstairs, a third golem falls. However, you do see that some of the soldiers themselves have down, and the battle seems to be moving out of the area of the scry, further back into the workshop.
Okay.
Aaron, what's going on?
Like, we got-
We're going to have to work on your
I
mic
didn't
sensitivity.
understand that, but that is.
I
that
know,
is
I
how
don't know
feel
what
as
to
well.
do.
We'll have
I'm
to-
actually not saying anything. I'm really trying
Okay.
because he's
We'll-
not saying
We'll
anything.
play around with your mic sensitivity another day.
all right, someone really, Cherry, do you want to shake Z out of it?
You feel so like slaps on your face, but they're like gentle. But still, they're supposed to be jarring and different.
Give her a wet willy.
You guys
Z
just
pops
like,
Liz out of the pocket dimension and brings her here.
Okay.
All right. Any spells you guys want to cast before we open these doors, or abilities?
I will prep.
Remember, any spell you hold after the door opens, if the conditions of your spell are not met, the spell is still used.
Oh, well then no, I won't do that.
Why I went with a cantrip. I am my one-trick pony, Eldritch Blast.
Firebolt.
Cherry,
lot
are
of
you?
people to get
What are you
through.
using your turret for?
That's a good point. I haven't chosen for the day yet. Okay, we'll do a buff of yeah.
Yeah, especially since it sounds like Woodsy was saying that they've got their own buffs coming.
All right.
What's that term?
Here's the buttons. I liked it when I had a different.
Wow, I just drawn.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was not the time to say that.
I mean, to be fair, right before the fight is better than after.
8 plus.
Oh, hey, I could have done that. Cool.
So 1d8
I'm
plus.
gonna look at my features real quick.
We didn't turn off the lights in there. That would have been nice.
All right.
I don't know where the lights were.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, we do.
9 temporary hit points.
Yeah, for everyone within 10 feet of Boomer, who's right there.
He's a boomer.
How many?
I am within 10 feet, but guess who is not?
I think we would have moved if possible.
Okay, yeah, like here, everybody gather around. 9 temporary hit points all around.
Sweet.
Whee!
That boosts me up a bit.
Don't we stay in there? Or we lose
Hmm?
them? Do
No.
we have to stay or
No.
lose them?
No, once we get them, we
Okay.
get them. I think they just refresh every round, right?
She can keep doing it every round.
Yeah.
As long as you
Does-
stay within 10 feet of Boomer.
Or Boomer stays within 10 feet of us.
Boomer, you have a job.
Are we going?
All right, let's go.
All right. Everyone ready?
Into the woods.
Into the
Mike,
thick
I
of
don't
it.
have a good
the
way
thick
to
of it.
do Guara's temporary hit points, so I'm going to go Guara with 20.
I got you, Amy. All right.
Bruce
What
will-
was that?
Oh, never mind. I can do temporary hit points and go on Guara. Cool. Got it.
Bruce has no keys as he looks at the.
Well, no. I think you guys can go through. We can go through the door. Can
If
we
you
look?
guys,
We
if you
shut
guys
the door.
shut the door, the arcane lot takes effect, but the key gems also take effect.
We have the red and the orange key that needs to be used.
Okay.
I have the brown key. I believe Rix has both of those.
I don't have the orange key anymore.
Could you
Z
guys
has
put your
Z
ear to
has
the
orange
door?
key.
All right, I pass up the red key, and then I guess we pass up the orange key from where Z is in the back.
Could you guys
Well,
put
that
your ear
would
to the
that would
door?
have been passed up to come up the flight of stairs, anyways. So
Sorry, what?
Can you guys put your ear to the door? Can you hear anything?
Where? Nothing.
Oh, rip. Oh, gosh.
All right,
Okay.
we ready?
Um,
All right, if everyone's ready, Bruce and whoever, Bruce will do both, or Bruce will do one, or we'll open the door.
one.
Oh, I have
The doors-
the traveler's gift and the radiant scimitar in my hands. Dual wielding.
Okay. You pass the gems through, they unlock the door. You guys give the password to go through the arcane locked door. And you enter the next hallway.
I forgot there was another hallway. Eldritch Blast. It's like, there's another hallway. Right.
It was fair. We don't know if there was a chance they could have breached it.
I mean, it feels like it's been 5 million years every time we play this game, so.
I guess
Even if
guys
it's only
make sure
been a
everyone's
couple
prepped
weeks.
and then open the next door.
Mhm.
I'm gonna. But once we get everybody in this room,
Yeah. So get everybody prepped. Everyone get their held actions ready.
If there's something in there, I have an Eldritch Blast ready to go.
Kid has arrows.
If
he has
Burning?
firebolts.
Or no.
so, if it's been 6 seconds,
Firebolt.
Boomer does another. Oh shoot! Not the button. Boomer does another little burst. I mean, does that new temporary HP or?
Temporary hit points don't stack, but they will replace if one's higher. So if he does a burst and it's higher than 9, then we would go to that number instead. If it's
Or
lower,
you
then
can
it
wait
wouldn't have an effect.
We need for healing.
I mean, he's gonna do it once every round. I don't think it takes anything from him. I will check
So
that.
roll another d8.
Okay.
So yeah, if you just want to say that you park him in the middle and
Hey,
Go!
12!
Holy cow.
we'll take it.
Yeah, for real, man. Puts me at 62 now, but Bruz is probably over 100 at this point.
Z is at 51.
Am I right?
Joe.
108.
Wait. My hit points is only
Nice.
All right.
has a hit points of a wizard. What?
Bruce will
Mine's
open the next
52.
door.
Okay.
Guys, was there another hallway? I'm just kidding. I feel like this opened to that.
There's a little. There's
Just
little
open
that
the
doors.
junction door.
it's the
Doors and,
octangular
like, the
room, I think.
bookcases.
Yeah.
There's
Nix, could you please not move your tokens without being told to?
Okay, sorry. I thought we opened the door and she was gonna go right through.
I
hit the buttons.
Not taking the time to listen for sounds of battle. As the door opens, you do indeed hear sounds of battle.
How do you want us to move?
Now is the time to roll initiative.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to roll bad
I can't.
on initiative.
Why are you doing this? Eric.
I don't think you
I
can roll
rolled.
worse than me
Okay.
on
I rolled
initiative.
pretty good on initiative. Nice nat 20, Jared.
Too bad it's a dexterity save.
See? Oh. How did I roll that? I hit the initiative button.
It should be rolling with advantage for initiative because of your.
To be fair, it's the same exact stat.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny.
That's weird.
My encounter disappeared.
Well, fight's over. We win.
Me.
I
I hope
hope
it's not
that there's just one really battered looking fake
Oh, that
vampire
sucks.
surrounded by so much death. Spare me.
Okay. That one. That one. Hold on, guys. I just went to go look. Like I built this encounter months ago, and it's just gone.
Oh,
I mean, clearly you had to adjust it based on everything we did, so you should have seen it recently, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the skeletal boys are gone. I hope.
I did adjust it, and I adjusted some of the stuff inside the encounter itself, and that might have caused it to error out.
Rip.
Okay, that's done. That's done. Make sure I've got the right characters in here. No. Good. Okay. Tangle with the claw. Save encounter. See, the name is still there. Okay.
So before we go in, I guess we should take this time to go around and say what we all mean to each other.
Let's just get this over with. I'm really ready to not have them chasing after us right now here.
Is that like the best initiative Bruce has had all game?
It's the best initiative you can have. That is the max he can get. I don't know if he's rolled. Okay.
I feel like you've rolled pretty high before in the past, but it might be
Yeah,
best because it's a nat 20.
It is tied for best, if nothing else. Ow! See, this is where you could have cast guidance on yourself, because this is an ability check.
Oh, Kiz.
Right, you guys are muted, so we didn't hear that, Larissa.
They're laughing though.
If it was one less, I could have rolled for being lucky.
I feel like you haven't had a chance to use that much.
Sometimes I forget it.
At least you don't
I feel
purposely
like you just
not
haven't
do
rolled a
it.
lot of ones, though.
No, she
Occasionally I
doesn't.
might.
In Critical Role, Sam purposely didn't re-roll his ones until he had to roll a save against a cursed dagger, and he didn't want to save against it, so he re-rolled the one, but he still failed.
Oh,
Okay.
Did you do that to hide the fact that that
Oh no,
Halfling?
he was doing it because he wanted to. No, he was just doing it because he was being Sam.
all right.
I don't want to save against getting this connection to a cursed dagger. I want to keep it. I want to keep this curse. That is Sam Riegel in a nutshell.
Okay.
I thought he used to shoot Beauregard.
No, he wasn't. He was still a goblin then. She was still a goblin then.
I feel like there was 2 times where he shot her.
I know he shot her when they were racing up the tree, and he shot her in the butt.
I remember that one.
That was a funny one. It was so loud. I think it drew the attention of a rock too.
All right, we ready?
Okay.
be
Bruce,
loud if
you
you're getting
find
the
that
attention
you
of
are
rocks.
the first
Critical Role
with
spoilers.
energy to run into this encounter.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
So that's his movement is running out there.
As you look forward out there, you see that over here is a what your best guess is a female. Hold on, let me pull up all of my notes so I can do this. Female, might be an elf, might be a half elf. You're not really able to tell just at quick glance. Currently, she has a wand in one hand that she's pointing forward. Dressed in what looks like robes. Robes of the blood of Vol. Though more emerald in nature at this point. Moving from this way towards the right, you see a couple of soldiers there. Your eyes kind of land on this figure over here with the hammer in his hand. He's the one that engaged you guys in combat during the night. He's heavily armored. Behind him is a figure you don't recognize. Seems to be covered in armor, but the armor itself is a pale ivory, splattered with blood, splattered with bits of melted glass, but it appears to be made out of bone. And as you look, continue your survey around, you see from above you there is this bolt of blackish, greasy lightning that seems to be attached onto the glass golem engaged with the paladin, but you do not see who is casting it. They're obscured by the staircase in your way, like as if they are up on the stairs.
Okay, so like that they're above me.
Yeah, they're above you.
Okay. Do I recognize any of these people?
Yes, these are all people who were at the dig.
Rose Quarry.
In Rose Quarry. There is no sign of the fake vampire.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just have to kill everyone one by one.
And
So
if any try to
Bruz-
surrender, we say, sure, for a price. Where's fake vampire man?
Bruz runs out, like looks at all this. I'm sorry, it's been so long since the White Hearth fight, so I'm trying to like,
Near the Rose Court.
yeah, the Rose
We're not
Quarter fight.
blind this time.
Okay, it's
Because
well
didn't
lit.
someone cast hold person on him during that fight?
We didn't fight with them.
Blackhearth, I think I had old person on me. No, you had charm person cast on you.
We didn't in Rose Quarry. We didn't actually fight them. You talked to
Did-
them and had the Valley Boys.
No.
No, There was the fight the night before.
Night sneak attack.
Oh yes.
The one where we
Yes.
sent poor Kiz, and she was woefully unprepared. And Rix, Rix had dark vision at that point.
I think it's just everybody
No, you
was
didn't.
Yes.
No,
attacked
You had
by
dark vision given by me.
However, regardless, what do? We gotta
go.
It's combat. If you're not gonna do anything, we're gonna pass.
Well, it's funny kids should mention that because Bruce is going to look out, see the spellcasters, and know how dangerous that is, and he's going to go, you know, the funny thing I've learned about spells is you generally have to see to be able to hit something.
I can't see through that.
He's going to upcast it, so I need to roll for the first time. Oof, that was rough. Thank you, temporary hit points. See Bruce just like stretch out his hand, and like his mark just glows brightly, and
So that makes it a
I pulled out the upcasted one. So that should be. It's like a 40-foot diameter.
okay. Seems right.
I think.
Seems ugly and right.
Yeah, because it's 20 by
Surprise,
default.
Mike.
Thanks for doing that while we all have never seen who's where.
Should have rolled
Hey.
higher on initiative.
Yes, we should have. Can't beat 20.
Yeah, so it's a 40-foot radius.
I mean, we can beat a
40-foot
20 if
radius.
someone else rolls a d20, like a 20. That's
true.
the thing. Like,
So
we both
yeah,
could have
about that
rolled higher.
size. So it should be about 80. It's about
I would have to roll a 18 or higher in order to outroll him.
To be fair, Bruce also hasn't seen eyes on elementals yet, so he's kind of hoping that they don't need to eyes to see. I think it should be, I don't know, maybe a little bigger. It's around that size.
What's
maybe.
the radius on it?
It's a 40-foot radius.
So that should be 80 feet across.
I think this might be more like 60.
This is currently 60, about 60, 65, 70-ish. Yes.
That's because it's got added fluff on the side.
And that goes up as well.
Okay.
And that's the end of Bruce's turn.
Okay. So that makes it a what level spell? Just out of curiosity.
Just second level.
Second level. Okay. Well, yeah, we're just gonna do this because that'll make it a little bit quicker in the end. As you call forth your power, you upcast it, you take that damage, the fog cloud appears, and then you feel as if some monstrous hand just kind of pulls it back, sucks it down into the center, and you find your spell countered.
One less third level slot.
Did I see who did it? have an idea?
Does
Does any asshole have a smirk?
this person up here is now staring at you and calling out to the rest of the group there that somebody else is there.
Okay. That's all I got.
Okay. Guy is just gonna pretend to try and do something fun. Yeah,
At least it was just temporary HP, man.
Okay. Golem. Emerald Claw Soldier swings out at the Golem. The Golem does take some damage.
Rudy.
After that,
Should name the glass columns.
We need attached. We miss you, Bob. Actually,
you're out.
what'd you say?
Oh. My encounter errored out. Like it's this report feedback now.
Yeah, that's happened to
I am
me.
in the middle
Luckily
of a
with
screen.
the
Thanks.
luckily with the like resume feature, if you reload, you should be able to just keep going right where you were at.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
one time I hit the back button and I was so angry at myself. And then it said resume and I was like, I'm not angry at myself anymore.
I'm not as angry at myself. I'm a little, but not as angry.
It's one of the
Praise
downsides
be
of
to
having a mouse with like little side buttons, man.
Okay. That being said, that. So that happened. Okay, we're back. I've got my encounter back. That's good. That's good. Said spellcaster who looked at you again looks at you and is you. And I need you to make for me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Not only did he fail, he went all the way down to 0. Guess who else
Ooh,
has
man.
polymorph? Oh, what'd you turn him into?
Hold on.
T-Rex, T-Rex.
He wouldn't do that to himself.
You wish. You, my friend. What do we want to do for this? Because this is just so much fun. As the spell takes hold of you, you find yourself falling forward, your arms shrinking in as you kind of compact a little.
See a turtle.
Your hands fuse together, your feet become cloven. However, your tusks seem to like become more pronounced as your nose pulls out, and you find yourself
It's a wild boar.
in the form of a boar.
He's a boar.
I mean,
Yeah,
cool.
just feels natural.
No, but he has the intelligence of the boar as well. I mean, it could be
Does my
worse.
wisdom go up?
You could have been a moth
Or a slug.
Guys,
or a sloth.
Laura's got an intelligence of 4, and she knows who her allies are.
That's fair.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, let me go
She's-
ahead
she's
and
not
add a
the
boar
smartest
to
kid.
my
I mean, she
extra.
did show Crystal that was boss earlier.
I apologize. She has an intelligence of 3. She's still a good girl.
She's just
You know
a
what?
cooker.
You know what? No, at an intelligence of 1, you're able to tell who your allies are, your friends are as well. I should know, because of feeble mind.
She's gonna swing and hit the elemental for 10 more damage. Okay. What time is it? It is We've got about
12
12 more
minutes.
minutes.
Could probably get maybe through
I
some
think I can
more.
get a couple more. As that, she has 2 attacks, so she's going to swing and get crits. Not a great crit.
Who's this swinging?
This is the figure that seems to be wrapped in bone
Bone.
armor.
Okay.
What happened? There was like a halfling barbarian, right? Do we see that person?
There's not a halfling barbarian in view.
Okay.
There's a halfling barbarian?
No, I don't think there was. I know there was a dwarf, right?
That was like a cleric, right?
Yeah, a cleric or of some kind, maybe.
I just remember the captain lady and the creepy not vampire. I can't hear you, Nix.
Still can't hear you.
Yeah, I still can't hear you. Your mic's being weird.
Sorry.
The glass elemental that the figure encased in bone armor strikes out, gets a good hit, and then strikes again and gets a more solid hit. And you see cracks start to spider work along the golem itself, and it starts to kind of get a little more frustrated, and
No,
it's turning back and forth.
not Ringo.
Rix.
Okay. Cool. So I'm going to use. Hold on, let me measure something out real quick. 1, 2. Hold on. 1.
Moving through Bruz is going to require double movement. Because that doorway was broken open and it's
Okay.
not shut correctly.
Hold on.
So you're going to have to use 10 feet to move by Bruz.
Also, he's a boar.
Well,
Cool. Is this door able to be opened? You go through?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys just told me that you had shut all the doors, so
Okay. I'm going to go here, which is 40 feet. I think it's 40 feet. It's 40 feet. Oh, it's right here. Let me double check myself. No, it's 40 feet. It's right here. Never mind. Wait, yes. So I was here. I'm going to use my bonus action to dash out to here so I can get a look to see what's going on. Dopamine. All right. I'm going to So that's my range. My range for Eldritch Blast is 120 feet. So I'm going to throw a couple Eldritch Blasts at that sucker bean. Wait. This one, right? Had they had their turn in combat yet?
that one has had its turn in combat, yes.
Can I see?
Granted, Rix wouldn't know that.
Yeah. Just thinking in my head. Because I could hit any of these fools. I recognize this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I recognize these are just little foot soldiers, right?
Yep.
I recognize this one.
Mm-hmm.
I do not recognize this one.
No, like the figure itself does not seem familiar, but it's encased in armor, and you don't remember anybody being encased in bone armor last you saw them.
I'm going to I'll throw an Eldritch Blast at them.
Which one?
The bone armor.
Okay.
So we'll see how well that goes. I get 2 shots.
You're gonna throw.
That sounds about right. Guys, this is
Does he hit Bruce?
no.
I knew that was coming up.
Okay.
Bruce has 1 temporary hit point left.
Yeah. That perception check screwed me over really good. Nice. All right, so they both miss. Pew, pew.
As you are firing and targeting with that Eldritch Blast, you feel as if something kind of jukes your hand, and you are allowed to use that 19 that you rolled for your perception as your attack.
I love you. Thank you.
So you hear the traveler. Finally, you're getting it done.
Ah, that's the one. Thank you. All right, Rick's kind of mutters under his breath. He's like, "Thanks for letting me know which one it was." I guess it does a point of damage to him, though.
So your total there would have been a
Single point of damage.
19, 7, so 26.
26
hits.
Yeah. 1 point of force damage. Pop! Right on the side of the head.
You can't sneak attack with your Eldritch Blast check, can you?
Yes, I can. But I don't know if that would I be allowed to sneak attack on that one? He doesn't know I'm here, but I would be required to have advantage or have an ally within 5 feet. Typically for sneak attack to trigger.
Since they had warning shouts out, they are aware of the presence of other people in combat.
Yeah, so I didn't think it would work. Cool. So
if you had an ally there.
Bruz, you know what to do.
Well, actually, no. No, go ahead and roll sneak attack. There may or may not be an ally nearby.
Oh, the golems! The golems! Hold on, let me look. I got 3d6.
So the golems remember us?
Has the armored individual gone yet?
No, the armored individual has not gone yet.
So that would be a
there
crit.
It's oh, so it would be considered a crit. Right,
so
Mike?
You get another 3d6.
It'd be a 3d6, so you can roll another 3d6.
It's good news.
A lot of 7s.
Thank you.
Okay. Better.
So that would be. I'd have to roll another d10 on that one as well.
Yep, roll me another d10.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll it straight into here because 5. 6 plus 7 is 13.
13.
Plus 12 is 25 points of damage.
25.
And I will mark down that I have used one of my Eldritch Blast sneak attacks.
Okay.
Right. Though it is a surprise to Rix in that moment.
Yeah, like you
He's
like throw out that Eldritch Blast, like, yeah! Oh!
And I'm like, and I just kind of take a moment, like, what was that?
So many emotions.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to question it. Let's go. And that's the end of my turn.
Right, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, just checking.
Oh, your mic sounds way better now.
Because it's now your turn.
Yep. All right. She's going to go ahead and run on out. Kind of assess what she can see at 15 feet. It's still bright, right?
Right.
And there's a boar.
There's a boar.
Random boar.
Don't kill the boar.
Why not?
Well, no, she could take out the hit points and it would make Riz go back to normal.
Yep.
But Nix is not aware of the polymorph spell, as he didn't really talk about it. There is just this random boar kind of standing there in the doorway.
Tempted
Oddly thick.
Got a good pair of hams.
Just pick this freaking beast that's sitting there and doesn't exactly know why. Anyway, she's gonna avoid, so 15, 25, 30 feet gets her there, but she's more. She's got 40. Alright. That's 40.
You're welcome. Can I get a point of inspiration?
If you don't have one, yes. Yes, you may take a point of inspiration.
Oh, man.
Hey. So I see, is this person a wizard?
Robes.
Looks like they have a wand kind of thing.
They have a wand.
All right. I am going to do a measurement.
70 feet.
Right. 70 feet. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do Step of the Wind. As wait, what is this new spell? Okay, she's gonna go ahead and use Step of the Wind, which allows her to use her bonus action to dash.
Okay, so that's 40 more feet,
Uh-huh.
or whatever your movement is.
45.
So 45 more feet.
Uh-huh.
This actually might be like a good move for Bruz. I feel like right now he is a lot less emotionally complicated.
Are they strong enough to cast True Polymorph? That is the question.
And I just think of the buddy comedy between him and Guara now.
Can we, if we survive this,
basically the Lion King.
Adopt a meerkat? I'm just saying. Can we adopt a meerkat after this?
You gotta find one.
I mean,
Okay,
if Liz dies,
are there-
you can always come
Are
back
there
with something
any
else.
in the Talenta Plains, Kiz? We need to know.
Okay, and I don't see her special ability, her new special ability stuff on here. I'm not sure if I'm looking in the wrong spot.
Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness.
But the Shadow Blast goes how far? 15-foot cone.
It's a 15-foot cone.
His wisdom did go up as a boar. It's a 9. It's slightly higher.
Which abilities are you looking for, Nick?
Irony.
The Shadow Tendril.
They're all in the attack. They're all in the actions.
I just found it. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. So, actually, she's going to go ahead and use her. She's not going to do that right now. She's going to go ahead and use her action to continue running and basically be able to hide under or move up under the.
Hey, keep in mind, it's up, so you're not really hiding.
Well, from the people up. Well, I guess I don't know where they are. There's a person up high, and I just don't know how high is that thing up. It's a 30-foot fall from the top of it. How tall is the head? And how close to the ground is it?
Cherry was going to take fall damage for it, so it's high enough to it's at least 20 feet high.
It was 30 feet.
Okay, it's 30 feet up.
From the top of the head.
Yes.
So, it's just how tall. Anyway, never mind. She's going to go over here, right up to this guy, and kind of like a, hi. Right there in his face.
Okay. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
Well,
however,
you
guys didn't even get to have a round of combat.
Cherry
Nick,
didn't either.
as you run forward.
Either.
But she's been looking forward to it so much.
Nix, as you move forward, you do, and look back over there, you do see somebody standing on the first, the about midway up, partially up the stairs. Your immediate impression is, he looks good. He's a young man, probably mid to late 20s, in his prime, has a beautiful face, flowing hair, and from his hand stretched forth is this greasy black lightning that is locked on to the glass golem there. Kind of watching you run into the fray, he looks over at you, kind of smiles to himself, and then redoubles his concentration on what he's doing at the time. And that's where we're going to end. The other thing you know, sorry, are we done? Are we out? Or not yet? Okay. The other thing you notice is that the one hand, it's streaking out black, greasy lightning. The other hand seems to be holding a rather familiar looking blade. It's this black, matte, crisp blade that looks exactly like your brother's sword.
It's Rick's up there. His
And that's where
evil
we're ending.
twin.
Thank you for watching. We love you. Come back and watch us more.